Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday. Very late show today. Usually we do our Sunday show last night, but I was tired, so I took the night off and went to sleep. Got decent sleep too, guys. I didn't wake up till like 11:30. I went to sleep around 3 o'clock is when I finally fell asleep. It's up till 11:30. I was like, hell yeah. Got up out of bed. I went to step on my left leg and went, remember we fell down the stairs yesterday? I'm like, oh, yeah. But then Pumpkin was here again, and she was so happy to see Grandpa that I didn't care. It was just a lot of fun. Snubber, thank you. People like Jeff, even after all this footage, are saying the rioters are just a few and far between. With power tools and chanting to cops to kill themselves. Jack also knows about the sprayed I'm guessing that was going to be sprayed Vietnam vet, not Viet Cong vet. Jesus Christ, monkey. Thank you for the donation. And yeah, I saw the video about that, but I didn't see much else. I was with the baby most of the day, and then with the family, had the dinner and all that, and then got ready to do our game stream. I'm sitting here and listening because Satsu had our call open that we talk through when we play. And I could hear him in the background. It sounded like he was having dinner. I'm like, wait a minute. Does he know what time it is? So I texted him and he called me. He has family over. So he asked if we could do it at another time. Maybe not even tonight. We might do it in a whole nother day. But it was a lot of fun. Listening to them sounding like they're having fun and being, usually it's me. It's not paying attention to the time and noticing that it's, 7 o'clock is right after dinner time. So sometimes it's like, oh, crap, it's time to go. But, yeah. The Vex name is Mike Hasty. Apparently some of his info is questionable, like his Bronze Star. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. There's so many things that happened in the last 24 hours that are worthy of discussion. This is Kyle. Thank you. Hello, chat people and Monkey. Hello, sir. And Cryptic says, Monkey in the Morning, my ass. It's a weird name for your ass, but I appreciate the support. Anyway, yeah, the protesters, holy crap. They done lost their freaking minds. I really do need to get tissues. Hang on, guys. Paper towel rip. There we go. And quick mute because you guys don't want to hear this. Pretend there's some elevator music playing for just a second. Hope you guys picked a good song. Anyway, yeah, all kinds of stuff. My favorite thing I saw, and there was a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty to talk about. Did you watch Villain's stream? I did not. I wasn't watching any streams really. I looked at Eyes On stream for about 15 minutes after I got off the game stream last night, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to bed. I'll catch up tomorrow. And like I said, I haven't been here, so. I've caught little bits and pieces as I've been on the internet intermittently today. But my favorite thing is that they keep talking about all of these protests being in support of Portland. Not George Floyd, Portland. They're protests in support of the Portland protest. Y'all know that George Floyd wasn't killed in Portland, right? George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis. Protests supporting protests in Portland. I'm like, y'all just completely, you're not even pretending it's about him anymore. You'll still use his name. You still use his name. You throw it out there. But you don't even pretend it's anything about him. It's just like, fuck that dead black guy, right? Fuck him. We got communism to enact. Fucking assholes. And I love it. I mean, they're not even subtle about it. Not even subtle. Jack, my friend, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm sore, but well.
Good.
Slept like a champ last night, man.
Nice.
I was just telling the people here that of all the stuff that happened last night, that the one that's funniest to me is that I've seen so many things talk about these riots all around the country, and they're not protests, guys. They are riots. But about how these riots are to support Portland. They're not to support George Floyd. They're to support Portland.
That's why they're destroying all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense to be destructive in relation to Portland than it did to George Floyd, to be honest.
Yeah, but see, they got to tear down the old to bring in the new.
Yeah, they oh, I need to change the banner. My bad. Whoops. That's still, Susan, it's true. Oh, I can keep both of those up? Oh, fuck it. We'll keep both of them up for now. Lots going on last night, Jack. This is what happens. I go to sleep and all hell breaks loose.
I keep telling you that every time you leave, shit goes down. The other day when you left, the camo pants stool boy got arrested.
Did he? Motherfucker.
Yeah, you missed it. He interfered with them trying to arrest somebody else, so they just grabbed him too.
Good. Fuck that guy. We're going to be watching some videos today, guys, because there have been some great ones. And the first one, where's that one at? This one just made me laugh. It's not one of the horrible ones, which unfortunately, guys, we probably will be watching some of. I was honest with YouTube, told them we'll be talking about guns and real death, and they're like, well, then you can't have money, so please donate to Jack and myself. Because if we talk about grown-up things here, we're not allowed to make any money through, the same people who advertise on CN fucking N.
Right? Oh, and guys, if you tag me stuff on Twitter, do it on my Jack Cochran account, not my D Reviewer one, because I never checked that one. That's just for complaining about comic books.
Yeah. Get them up over there. Make sure you know where you're at. Damn it, where's that thing at? Did I? Oh, you know what? I think I only responded to it. I didn't retweet it. Damn it. Jack, I hate when I do that.
I do that a lot.
Then I lose things, though. And,
Oki's right. You need a crypto wallet in your description.
I don't use any crypto stuff.
Should.
I suppose I should eventually. Okay, I'll look into it. All right. Now, this may be my favorite video I've seen so far of the protests, and that's a pretty high bar because we've seen some great stuff, Jack. But this one, we're going to entitle it Dumb White Woman. I don't know if you saw this one, Jack. Guys, we got to do a sound check because it's the video's kind of loud to me. Let me know, Jack.
Oh, yeah, that's loud.
All right, yeah, we'll turn that down. Well, she's just a screaming banshee, so it's hard not to. We still have to be able to hear what she said. So hopefully this is good. Here you go. You're watching this chickie poo right there. Back up. On what grounds are you going to tell me to back up? Back up.
Because we're the cops. Duh. That's something I don't understand is they have the lawful authority to tell you to move.
Yes.
And people don't seem to grasp this. Like, where have you been your entire life? Have you never lived in a civilization before? Because every police force in the world has the ability to tell you to get the fuck out of their way or go somewhere else.
The way that line just, we'll watch it again without having to listen to her. No, I want to hear it one more time because this part it's glorious. It's glorious.
The sound is really worth it.
Or fucking what? Well, young lady. And arrested. Man, they just swallow her. And she yells in the background like she's being raped.
Yeah, because she's one of those spoiled, entitled people that doesn't think that she can be arrested for mouthing off to the cops. And look, you're being disorderly. You're probably obstructing at that point. They'll find something to hit you with if you're going to be an asshole. Yeah, and they had every right to take her in that little butthole that tried to intervene.
Yes.
So never try and rescue someone from being arrested by the cops unless you plan on getting your ass kicked.
Yep. And fuck her.
Yeah, I'm glad they arrested Karen. Fuck that bitch.
Or fucking what? Well, we can answer that for you.
Right? That is not how you deal with that situation. Be a fucking grown-up.
Or fucking what?
I am so sick of these people with their sense of entitlement that they can just destroy everything, and the idea that they can hide behind their fake little press pass, like that's a get-out-of-jail-free card for destroying shit and being activists. Most of these people are not acting like press. Concrete Reporting is probably the closest, him and Villain Phoenix, probably the closest to press. I would give them a lot more leeway than 99% of these other assholes.
Well, at least with Concrete Reporting, you know where he stands. He's on the side of the protesters.
Yeah.
But he is not protesting.
Yeah, he is not getting involved.
Yeah. And I can respect that. Have your opinion, but if you're going to be pressed, stay back. So many of them, they're actually involved in it. And like, but I put press on my shirt. And they're like, why are they targeting the press?
Yeah.
Because all of you fuckers are wearing press now.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple of them handing stuff to people that are throwing things. They'll pick up stuff. They'll get involved in what the cops are doing. They won't move back when they're told to. Even the press has to move. Like it's fucking ridiculous. It is not a get out of jail free card. They seem to think it's a badge of immunity, and that's not how this works. I'm so angry about these idiots.
Oh, we'll get into even more. Star Saber says more protest bullshit. What the fresh hell is this? Last night, all hell broke loose, and we'll get to more of that. And Angry says, Monkey, my kids are trying to ruin my time with you. Tell them I said hello. So the monkey says hi. This is a funny one. Nobody really got hurt. She got her little pride abused a little bit there, which she deserved to. I wish I could have heard what was going on in her brain when she yells or fucking what and they grab her. Because you know that something in her brain went, oh shit.
Oh, I know exactly what went through her brain. I'm being kidnapped.
Yeah.
Because these people are fucking morons who have no idea how anything works, apparently. They get dumber every day. It's like they're drawing in dumber and dumber people every day. And I'm getting sick of it. The feds need to do something about this, and they need to charge that fucking mayor in Portland with insurrection because he's supporting these assholes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm sick of his shit, too. He's sitting there blaming the cops for the fact that he won't do anything, and he's handcuffed as police. This is fucking out of control.
Yeah, this was Ted Wheeler, for those of you like the mayor. Yeah, Ted Wheeler. He actually went to the riot one night where they chanted "Fuck you, Wheeler," which was fun to watch.
Yeah, they've been calling him Tear Gas Ted and War Crimes Wheeler.
And his little bitch ass. After everything he saw there, I mean, he comes. I don't understand why they're being mean to these people.
Yeah, there was a fire right off to his left on the wrong side of the fence. Yeah, and he's like, I didn't see a cause for that. Yeah, they're throwing shit at the cops that's trying to burn a building down. What the fuck do you want, Ted? You fucking activist? Resign.
Now, I didn't get to talk about it on this show, but you were on Lords of the Night with us, and I talked about a picture, and I want to bring it up because I love this picture. Absolutely love this picture. This is a woman being arrested the other night, Jack.
Yeah.
It's a woman being arrested, and the fire that you just mentioned. It looks like this chick is grabbing for that Susan for seven figures. You can see it thing,
right? Can we just point out how badass that cop looks?
I know, right?
He looks like a GI Joe figure.
Yeah.
Like I'm not always on the side of the cops, but damn, he looks fucking cool.
I'm okay. I do need to get rid of this one banner. That can go away. That's just for me. That's just for me, guys. Makes me laugh. So she gets arrested, and the fire thing you mentioned with Wheeler made me think of this because I got into an argument over this stupid ass picture with somebody. And they're like, she was pulled behind the fence. When P-Dog first showed us this picture the other day, it's like, there's no real context here. I'm like, actually, there is. If you've been watching this stuff and you know this is Portland, There's all the context you need is right there. This bitch is on the wrong side of the fence.
Yep.
Otherwise, you would see the fence, which actually the fence is this this blur right here. She almost made it, Jack. She almost made it. Now, I don't know if the I don't know how well it'll show up. I'm going to try something here because you and I watch this a lot.
Oh yeah, I watch it every fucking night. It's like crack. I had 5 different streams going. Most of them were multi-streams yesterday. It was probably an addiction problem.
Well, I was told that she was pulled behind. Dragged was actually the word.
Oh,
Dragged behind the fence.
Oh, a little game of Chinese whispers, eh?
Well, I went and looked it up because I knew just from what I could see there what to look for. And, well, where the hell did it go? Go ahead.
Real fast. Thank you, not Shio. I stole this from a corpse. It seemed like you needed it more than they did. If you were a necrophiliac, which celebrity would you want to dig up?
Wow.
I don't know.
It's a weird question.
I'm not sure how to answer that because I don't know if it would depend on what my particular fetish as a necro was, like how rowdy do you like them, kind of thing.
Now this is gonna be hard to show, but I can put the link down in chat. You see this corner right down here, Jack?
Yep.
This is a fire burning.
Yep. Sure is.
From that night. You don't have to watch any of these other ones. Just watch this one and watch off to the left here. And I'm sorry, I'll make it as big as I can so you guys can see it.
It's grainy as shit.
That's how it is originally. This is one of the ones that has been stretched on his stream. But it's not so bad that you can't see what's about to be shown. Now, this is from, I think it's from the same night Wheeler was there, or maybe it was the night after. But we're going to see an explosion. Boom! You see that?
Yep.
Huge ass explosion in that fire.
Yeah, they were throwing fireworks bundled up with duct tape. I've seen the photos of them. The cops released.
Now, right about here, he goes back up. Got some idiots running. You'll see a guy running back here in just a second. I'm sorry. There it is. You see that guy back there?
Yep.
Now, wait for it. Move the camera. What? Wait. Right there. You see that?
Oh, who's that? Oh,
Whoops.
Is that Karen?
That is her. Whoops. You can see her outfit and everything. You can see her little black backpack and everything. And then she goes, the police come out because of the explosion and they try to run and she's caught right there.
Yeah.
But I was told that was fascism.
No, that's how justice works.
Her being arrested was fascism. Thank you, your Chaos, My Serenity, for the devil sticker. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm tired of talking to these idiots, Jack, who only see something on Twitter. And like, I know what happened. I'm like, motherfucker, I watched it live. It took me 10 minutes to find that clip because I watched it live. I knew what to look for. Real quick, Renegade, thank you. Someone was shot and killed in Austin protest last night. A protester approached a driver while carrying a rifle. We will get to that. We will, believe me. That is probably the big story we'll be talking about here in just a minute.
Yeah.
Because there was another one. Did you see the one where I haven't seen video of it. I've just seen the still picture of the guy sitting in the car with his gun drawn and a protester with his gun pointed at him.
Oh yeah, I retweeted a brief video clip of that.
You know what? There is a brief. Maybe that's what it is I saw because the guy's like, drop your gun. He's like, no. All right.
That could have ended really poorly.
Yeah. So guns have started to be drawn out in these things.
Yep. Which I told you this was going to escalate. I've been preaching that for weeks now. This is going to get worse. And now it is. And now people are dead and nobody is still doing a fucking thing about this. Before
we get to the big stories, though, I want to read one more thing. Snubber, thank you. Exactly that argument I dealt with, quote, you need to be there by holiday when my eyes saw all their bull. Yeah, I mean, this isn't one of those things that you're just reading about in the newspaper. You can actually go watch it all live from multiple angles. And most of the people who are recording this stuff and putting it out there, they don't take it down. You can go back and watch it whenever you want to. Whenever you want.
Yeah, lots of people are stream sniping the people doing it live. So even if the people doing it live take it down, the stream snipes are still up.
So I want to bring up Mr. Paul Garrett. Do you know who Paul Garrett is?
Not offhand. The name sounds familiar.
I didn't know him until today.
Huh?
Never heard of the guy before, and then I saw stuff going around about him. So I went and he's a reporter or a Paul Gallant is his name. I said it wrong. Let's see. He is part of Danny and Gallant in the Morning.
I've never heard of that. I was thinking of Patty Garrett.
It's part of ESPN Seattle. Pat Garrett. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is Gallant, not Garrett. I said the wrong name. Anyhow,
yeah, whatever.
So Paul's been getting a bit of shit.
Is this because of the basketball team from the ladies?
No.
Oh.
This is because he said something really stupid. And so back when Chaz was a thing, he responded to Donald Trump's tweet. Donald Trump has tweeted out that Mayor Jenny called it the summer of love, but it's just lawlessness and shit is being burned and broken around. He's not talking about specifically in Chaz. He's talking about in riots. But he mentions Chaz first. And he's like, this stuff, we need to put a stop to this. And Mr. Gallant here responded that he'd walked through Chaz a couple of times and he didn't see a problem. There was nothing there. It was all being overblown. Well,
so he's a dummy.
Yeah, even more so. He got a dose of reality yesterday. Came home to my apartment complex. The Starbucks underneath has been destroyed, and cops are telling us to stay away in case something explosive is inside.
I saw this.
And then this next one, he shows some pictures, and it says, "Great job, assholes." Here's the Starbucks. Oh, I know. We don't need to see it all big. There we go. There's a kiosk. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's all busted to shit. That's all destroyed. Abolish the police. And then look, they got some Nazi imagery right over here. Go down, unrelated. There's a fire a few blocks from me, which had me freaked out when I saw it from the highway. Zero clue what's going on, but the cat and I are getting the fuck out. And then he finishes with, I feel like I need to buy a firearm because clearly this is going to keep happening. Enough is enough. It looks like a block party down the street from me. Really angry right now. Let me get some super chats here real fast. Thank you for the drooling sticker, Shady. Mighty Balzac, thank you. Happy National Get Hit in the Nuts with a Tear Gas Round Day. Oh. And Andrew Joyner, kill the commies, haha. Why are you laughing?
Because it's funny to kill the commies.
Well, I think it's just, smart. But anyhow.
Yeah, one of the guys said last night, I think it was Concrete Reporting, said that like 7 people got shot in the nuts in one night.
Yeah, did you see what happened with Trey?
Yeah, he took one right in the junk, apparently.
He did. Yeah, he was fucked up. And some medic told him, if it still hurts like tomorrow, then you might need to see a doctor. If you get hit in the nuts by something like that, you need to go to a doctor immediately.
Yeah, you go to the emergency room. You can rupture a testicle.
You can die from your nuts being hit too hard.
Yeah, that's so fucking dumb. You don't listen to those fucking retard so-called medics. They're not doctors.
They gave him ibuprofen. Of course they... This is Kyle. Thank you. Some would call that being red pilled in the most harshest way. Oh, you meant the guy, not getting hit in the nuts. Okay.
Oh no, his pills turned red.
They turned black and blue actually. So I want to get back to Mr. Gallant there for a minute. With everything we saw last night, remember this is before the shootings when he's having this fit. But just on the block from me, it looks like a block party. This is pissing me off. I think I need to get a gun. Somebody on Twitter said that the terrorists here are winning the propaganda war. And Andy No agreed with them, and I agree with them too. They are.
Yep, absolutely.
But it's only because what's really happening isn't being shown.
Mm-hmm.
If it was actually being shown, you get one thing like that vet who got sprayed in the face last night, which, by the way, he was blocking the police where they were trying to go.
Yeah, and he was constantly in their way. And that guy's an activist, too. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't. Snubber said you knew some stuff about him. I know nothing about him except for that video. And the only thing, that video is so dirty because they don't actually show that police line that's trying to clear that street until, I mean, he gets sprayed and they kind of walk with him a little bit. I'm like, you see that police car right there? They're trying to get all of you the fuck out of the street. Don't act like this. He's just out there talking. Go stand on the fucking sidewalk.
Yeah, apparently this guy claims he was a medic in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And he also claimed he has a Bronze Star, which he does not. Because you can look up all the Bronze Star recipients.
Well, it was amazing because he admitted to war crimes.
Oh, yeah. He was admitting to atrocities.
Yes. Which, like, as a medic, is really fucking weird.
Yeah. Like, what the hell were you doing over there, dude? I think that should be investigated.
I do too. But that's the kind of shit that ends up on the news. And it's like, oh my God, they sprayed a Vietnam veteran.
Yeah, they sprayed a guy who was being an activist and a political agent. So he was impeding the lawful orders of police.
Yep.
And the lawful duties. It's not like they were like kicking the shit out of an 8-year-old boy and he's like, hey, you need to stop that. No, he was not following directions during a riot. So you get maced for that. And he kept going back at them too. Like, and then they maced him. I don't blame him. He wasn't listening.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. But that's what ends up on the news. So everybody gets all worked. I can't believe that's how they're treated. He was just talking to the police. They might even show that girl get arrested earlier, you know, because all she was doing was talking. And no, they told her to get the fuck out of the street. Told her to back up. Or what? They don't show things like, did you see the fence in Portland? They tore down half of that fence last night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because what? They have a constitutional right to tear down fences so they can get closer to the building to scream at it?
Well, that in and of itself is destroying government property. It's on federal land. It's their fence. And I don't care what they say. You can't just go around destroying people's fences, whether it's the federal government or anyone else. If you really want to get a pepper ball to the face, you do it to the feds.
Yeah.
And they restrained themselves till after that fence came all the way down.
Yeah. I saw a post you made about the fence coming down. I was like, oh, shit. So I went and looked. I didn't see when it came down. I saw it was up. It's up. It's up. And I jumped ahead. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, they just ripped it down.
Yeah, it took a lot of them because they're a bunch of little soy boys. But
bunch of little pussies, yeah.
Yeah, it probably took 5 times more than necessary for normal people. But yeah, they tore that thing down and they were all proud about it. I was real shocked they didn't swarm in to the federal building right there. But the feds did come out. So I don't know. They're just escalating more and more. I told you that thing was coming down, and it's that they've done nothing but throw things at these cops the entire time. And they're yelling at them about police brutality. These are federal cops. They didn't do any of the things they're bitching about. There's a guy out there screaming at them about George Floyd. These are federal agents. These are like FBI and border control. They had nothing to do with that.
Well, fuck, they're in Portland. Even the Portland police had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
There were 4 guys from the Minneapolis police who were involved in that. That's it. That's it. But what? Do you remember that one guy that's still yelling at the police in Seattle? How would you like it if I kneeled on your neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds? Like, you know, none of them did that, right? Nobody in that line you're yelling at did that. None of them even have It's not like they've come out with a statement of support for Officer Chauvin. Every officer I know, every person I know has looked at that and went, this is horrible. That should never happen. I've not heard one. Okay, let me take that back. There's a couple of people who have said, well, he was a criminal and he was just being arrested. Very few and far between have I seen do that. Near universally, everybody's like, what happened to George was fucked up. Should never happen. Nobody supports it. What are you fucking people whining for? Because people agree? Anyway, I do want to get on to the story of where's that New York Times story? Actually, I want to bring that shit up because it annoyed the shit out of me. So, Garrett Foster. Got to talk about Garrett for a minute. Garrett Foster is a fat ginger was killed in Austin last night. He got shot a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oops. Now, I want to watch the video of this. Let me see the video of it. I'm actually going to watch the New York Times version of the video. I haven't seen any of the other angles of this yet, Jack, and I am shocked there's none. There's got to be. Got to be. That back there. Okay. So you can see this is from the New York Times. I'm not doctoring anything. This is how it's played. And you have these people marching. You have a couple of cars, and you're going to hear a horn beep, guys. Listen for the horn sound. That's when all hell breaks loose. All right. What you're seeing is all these people mob the car who honked his horn. Now, according to the some of the eyewitnesses, the car almost hit a bunch of protesters.
Almost.
And then this happens. Thank you, Cryptic. When role-playing goes wrong, they don't know what they're doing with those weapons. Yeah. We'll get to that in just a second. So, 5 shots ring out, Jack. And then this happens. Three more shots ring out. And then possibly a 6th from that first gun. One more time. So, what we heard there, Jack, depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask. Some people claim that the guy in the car pulled out a handgun and fired 5 times into the dead guy, which would mean that the dead guy shot his gun 3 times after he'd been killed, which is weird.
Yeah.
If you ask other people, the moron with the semi-automatic AK that he likes to run around protests with shot 5 times, and then the guy in the car killed him for it. Self-defense. Now, Jack, I don't know a whole lot about those, but something jumped out at me in this video. The sound. In my limited gun experience, rifles tend to be louder than handguns.
Indeed.
Because of the caliber of bullet that they're using. They tend to hold a bigger round than this guy. I haven't seen what the guy was hit with. I'm guessing a 9.
Probably.
But just from the sound alone, I would say that rifle was fired first.
Yeah, I would think so.
5 times. Cryptic, thank you. I've been shot at. It was self-defense. I wasn't there. I haven't seen other sections of this. Like I said, I know what's the eyewitnesses said, and I know what I heard.
I've got a video in the side chat that might be a better angle. The first one there, and the second one is the Austin police talking about this right after it happened.
Cool. All right, let's check out one of the first one. And guys, I should have warned you, like the New York Times does there, that we're gonna be looking at some shooting stuff, because it's important. It's important because this is the kind of stuff that me and Jack have been warning about. And in fairness, Jack before I did. So screen share.
Thank you, Shio. Dude shoots all those times and misses completely. Must be that limp wrist of his. Thanks, Shio.
All right. Turn that up.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! No! Let's go! Hands up!
Wow.
Hands up!
This is that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, this is the wrong video.
This is a video of the.
I gave you the wrong link.
No, that's fine. That's fine. This is another one to talk about. This was the stalemate in. Do we know how this ended?
I haven't seen how it ended beyond this video.
Oh, that guy just dropped his gun. Okay.
I don't know if the driver's facing any charges or what, but I would hope not.
I wouldn't think he should. I certainly don't think he should.
You know how these states are. Everything's kind of ass backwards.
From what I heard, the police say 2 shooters were arrested. The dead guy with the AK didn't fire.
I heard definite rifle sounds there.
Yeah. Maybe it was somebody with a bigger caliber gun. I don't know. It'd be really easy to see. All you got to do is find the bullets and see if the gun had been fired. From what I heard, the police say 2 shooters. Do we have an update on that story somewhere? Because even the New York Times article didn't mention that. What was that? Austin, right?
Yeah, I think that was the Austin one.
Austin shooting. Police identified downtown Austin protest shooting victim. Say he reportedly, this is 4 hours ago, reportedly pointed weapon at car before being shot. Manley confirmed on July 26th that one shooter was the driver of the car and said the other was in the crowd and may have opened fire on the car as it drove away. One person is dead. The victim got blah. An update on July 26th, Austin Police Chief Brian Manley said reports indicated Foster was carrying a rifle when he approached the suspect's car. The suspect then shot out of the car at Foster, according to APD. Manley said the person who shot Foster called 911 to report that someone was pointing a gun at his vehicle, and he fired at the person pointing the gun. Suspect was detained and is cooperating. The first person, according to Manley, to have fired a weapon in the incident appears to have been the driver of the car. Manley said those shots came after the driver said Foster pointed it at him. Manley confirmed that one shooter was the driver and said the other was in the crowd and may have opened fire as it drove away. Oh, so he didn't even fire. Maybe he'd have to been. What was the second firing?
I don't know. I'm not buying that account, quite honestly. I think we're going to have to wait and see if they run ballistics, and because if that guy fired, those bullets are somewhere in sort of the casings. Most likely, the casings would have been picked up by other protesters as little souvenirs or to hide what he did. But the bullets went somewhere, and they're probably in that dude's car.
Garrett Foster died protecting us, not just the protesters, all of us.
You pointed a gun at someone. You are not protecting people.
Yeah. Yeah, if he had it pointed at him, it's still, you can shoot him. I'm just skimming through this to see if they say anything about this. James Sasanowski, who goes by Sass, told KVU a car drove aggressively towards the crowd, trying to turn onto Congress Avenue from 4th Street. Sasanowski said that he believes he saw the shooting happen. And then I turned over and I see his arm just like extended fully out of the driver's window with a handgun into the crowd. And I watched him make several more shots. I saw the flashes, he said. Are they suggesting he fired all 8 shots?
It didn't sound like the same gun all those times.
No, it really doesn't.
You know, if he was moving, maybe the acoustics are tricking you or something, but I don't know. I have a hard time buying that story.
Cryptic, thank you. Reminds me of Dave Chappelle's skit, "When keeping it real goes wrong, millennials are getting themselves killed. Commies death, good riddance." Thank you for the donation. I don't consider myself a ballistic expert, but having shot over 30K rounds of rifle ammo and 100 rounds of pistol ammo. Sorry, Jim, I didn't see what else you wrote up here. I've shot enough rounds to tell you that one is a rifle, the other is a pistol. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I mean, I've fired a few guns in my time, and that's what it sounded like to me. But like I said, if the people are moving with the cameras and the vehicle's moving, maybe the acoustics are playing tricks. But that sounded like that dude's story's bullshit.
It really does, but APD seems to agree. So, well,
yeah,
I mean,
are they gonna do that just to keep the crowd from going nuts? That's what worries me, is they're playing a political game with this.
They could be doing that as well. I mean, I have no reason to suspect them of that. I don't know how. It is Austin, so you're talking a liberal city.
Yeah,
but like I said, I know what I heard, and those, even if you want to tell me that there were 2 pistols involved, those are 2 different guns. And if you listen right at the end, it actually sounds like there's a 6th shot from the first gun. There's just another, which could have been an echo or something, but Cryptic, thank you. I can tell you an AR firing sound in my sleep. As a Marine, I would imagine you've heard quite a bit of live fire.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah, so people are starting to get shot. The other night, I talked about this guy. Jack, you were on Lords the night I talked about the guy who got stabbed, that conservative guy.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me, because I said, he's lucky he didn't get shot. What happens, guys, this conservative reporter, who I forget what he works for, some independent agency. He's down there in Portland recording. He decides things are getting a little too hairy, so he decides to leave. But somebody's following him. Somebody's following him and his buddy that they're taping together. They decide to, quote, pull the guy out. They just meant move down a little bit, get the guy out of the crowd. And he says, if he follows us, he's going to regret it because we're going to pull him out. He says this. And as he gets him out of the crowd, I don't have the video pulled up. I should just show it. Jack, I forget we can do that. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I've got a video here that Massive sent of from Mark Dice that has a video of the guy that got killed in Austin talking.
Okay, we'll take a look at that in just a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Let me get this queued up so I know what I was going to look at. There we go. We'll get back to stabby guy in a minute, but let's go ahead and get the let's finish with Shooting Boy. There's a point that connects the two together. Oh, is this actually him?
That's what Mark Dice is saying.
Kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
All right. If this is, remember, guys, we have no independent verification of this. Just what we're reporting, what's been reported, just like CNN.
Some of all right. You feel like you'll need to use it?
Can you hear that?
Yeah. It's just he's mumbled because he's got the mask on.
All right. So he was just asked, do you feel like you need to use it?
Nah, I think the.
Oh, it's turned down.
I mean, if I use it against the cops, I'm dead. And I think all the people that hate us and, you know, want to say shit to us are too big of pussies to stop and actually do anything about it. So,
yeah, how'd that turn out?
Well, our roommate got arrested and they stopped letting us march anywhere, so started carrying. Practice some.
There you go. He started started carrying an AK because the cops wouldn't let him protest.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. That doesn't sound like some sort of extreme virtue signaling.
Right?
Like you're looking for a confrontation. Yeah. Like somebody just said in chat. I think it was Zach. LARP, LARP, LARP. Oh shit, I got shot.
Yep. Keep fucking around. You're gonna end up that way.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Go ahead and talk. I'm sorry.
No, this is just more dumbassery from people that have no concept of how the world works.
And that's why this one actually kind of surprised me, Jack, what we're about to watch, because you would think they'd be smarter than this. All right, this is a conservative reporter guy getting stabbed.
Oh, fuck. They're going to start shooting.
Hey, this person's
Hey!
following us.
Who?
That dude right there in the helmet.
Okay.
Look, he's following us.
All right,
All right, let's get out of here.
now listen.
You see him?
Yeah, I'm gonna lead him out. If he wants to follow us, it's gonna be a bad idea because I'm about to fucking pull him out. He's about to get it.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
Yeah,
That's premeditation right there. I'm gonna lure him out.
yeah.
Yeah, that changes the narrative quite a bit.
Here you go, hold this.
All right, now we're gonna pause here for a second. This is our guy, the guy who was just talking. Watch that silhouette.
Someone's stalking us.
Hey, buddy, why are you following us?
Yeah, he did everything wrong here.
Yeah, I don't blame this guy at all. He's still a shitbag lefty piece of shit, but if I'm in that environment, somebody comes up and aggressively puts their arm around my shoulder with that kind of shoulder grab thing, and hey, buddy, why are you following us? Yeah, I'm probably going to stab him too.
Yeah, look, he decided to lure this guy further away from the crowd, which was a dumb idea. If somebody's following you, you stay in a well-lit area. You don't go down some sketchy dark alley and be like, I'll lure him out. No, that's a stupid idea. He went to intimidate the guy by grabbing him. Yeah, the guy was following them, but he might have just been going in the same direction. That's the problem, is he doesn't know the guy's motivation. You don't go up to some rando and put your arm around them and demand to know what they're doing. That's how you get stabbed. That guy could have been a crazy homeless person. And you sure as shit don't want to do that to one of them. They will stab you.
Hang on. Somebody just asked for the link to that. Here it is, guys. Sorry, I had to go pick it up. And I saw in chat somebody said that guy's a convicted pedophile. Okay. That doesn't change what happened there. This reporter, he's lucky to be alive, one, being stabbed like that. You know how easy it would be to hit the wrong organ right there?
Oh, yeah. He got super lucky that nothing important got hit. Because stabbed him really easily in a very vital spot and crippled him for life, or lost a kidney, or stabbed him in the heart, punctured his liver, any number of things.
But when I saw this and I originally tweeted out, I said, he's lucky he didn't get shot. And somebody said to me, nobody's been shot down there. That would be a weird thing to happen. As far as I know, this is the first stabbing down there in Portland since this has happened. You don't want to be the first one, Jack.
No, you really don't. Look, obviously that guy probably was following them. We've seen this sort of stuff go on. I don't have any sympathy for the stabber because he's probably a piece of shit. If he's a convicted pedophile, I don't fucking like him already. So
fuck that guy.
Everybody did everything wrong in this. You got a super chat.
Thank you, Lamented Guide. Antifa is the uncontested winner 2020 Darwin Award. Oh, and they're going to just get even better and better.
Oh, yeah. This is just going to get worse. Look, the dude had a concealed knife. That's probably illegal in Portland, depending on how big this knife was. But
it went in at least 7 inches.
Yeah, so usually the legal limit is 6, but it depends on by state. But yeah, so both of them will probably be charged with different crimes.
Yep.
The stabber guy will probably get off on self-defense for this, but get busted for the concealed weapon. And the victim here that got stabbed, the alleged victim, he put his hands on the other guy first. And that's a big, big no-no. Even if you agree with him on saying that he had a right to confront this guy, which, okay, maybe he did, but he didn't have a right to put his hands on him. So that simple assault there is what's going to get him in real troubles. He put his arm around the guy to intimidate him, and he lured him out. He did everything wrong. He should have stayed in a well-lit area, maybe called the cops or something, maybe wait till the guy got bored, like go in that 7-Eleven and hang around for a little while till the guy gets bored and leaves. Or there were two of you. You had a pretty good chance of just outrunning the guy or looking intimidating. You don't run up and put your arm on someone.
Couple of things. Nuts asked if there's no game stream tonight. Maybe. We're not sure yet. Scribbles, saw you in chat. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. Let me know if you want to hang out. There were a couple of things. Somebody said concealed knife in Portland, in Oregon at all is a no-no. That's fair enough. But the one that somebody said he had the knife at the ready. If you paid attention right before, as they're coming around whatever that post was, the guy who got stabbed gets really close to the back of him, and he would have felt that there. He didn't notice that. And if I was him and I had a weapon, I would have made it at the ready as well. It's not like you can say because he was following him and he had it at the ready, that he was probably going to stab him anyway, kind of thing, you know? It could have happened, but Jack, you know, if you're any kind of right of center, even if you're center in these things, you can end up not just disliked by this crowd, but where they will notice you and hunt you down if you're at their events.
Yeah, you have to assume they're trying to hurt you. You don't run up and put your arm around him. You just got right into his personal space where he could easily hurt you. You don't know what this guy's capable of or what he's armed with. If that had been a dirty needle, you could be facing some serious problems, HIV, drugs, whatever. He's lucky he got stabbed in a non-vital area.
How do you carry a knife openly? They make knife holsters.
Yeah,
it's a sheath that you wear.
Yeah. He probably had a sheath knife and wasn't supposed to, and just stabbed him. It's real easy to get your knife out if you're trying to quick draw. They make knives like that. So, look, I don't like anybody in this situation. The original story that came out, I had sympathy for the guy, but when this video came out, I was like, oh, you're a fucking retard.
Yeah. He is lucky he didn't get killed.
He is absolutely lucky. And the crowd kicked the shit out of the knife guy, so he got his too.
Sure.
Which, you know, they should have done that just for him being a kitty diddler. But look, they got the guy to the hospital, which is good. But mob justice is not justice. The mob shouldn't have beat the shit out of this guy. They should have turned him over to the cops. And this dude should never have put his hand on that guy.
No. Jack, you've seen these crowds. Would you go down there and tussle with any of them? And
no.
He pulled him out of the crowd. Not very far. That crowd moves fast. I've seen them. And all it would have taken is for them to realize what was going on. And even if nothing else had happened, these guys start fucking. They'd have beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, you don't know if this guy's alone or if he's just like the bait.
Yeah.
Like, he could have just been following you and he's talking to somebody else on a radio that you don't see. He might have been one of like a 5-man team following you. These guys do have tactics. And we have seen them. Villain Phoenix, when he was followed, they had a very organized way of following him. They have practiced this. So it's a good possibility they knew who he was, and there were others in the area, and he could easily have been stabbed there, and then a couple other guys jumped in and stabbed him to death, Caesar style. You don't want to start shit. You don't know what's going on. So he should have just got out of there. There's a time to pick your battles, and this was not the hill to die on. I'm using a lot of metaphors here, and I'm running out.
But you hear him. It's gonna be a bad idea because we're gonna pull him out. And then what? Like you said, that shows premeditated. And then what? You can't beat somebody's ass for following you.
No, because they might be going in the same direction. I mean, he was following you for like a block. Maybe he lives over there.
And look, we do know that they follow Andy No right now. They hate Andy No so much. They're like assaulting random Asian people.
Yeah. That's weird.
If you're Asian in Portland, be careful.
Right?
You might want to get some
on the West Coast. Be careful.
You might want to get some fake white people glasses or something. I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, get some Groucho glasses.
Yeah, so nobody looks at you. But yeah, if you got that beautiful almond Asian colored skin, that almond milk skin.
Yeah,
be careful because they're gonna try to kick the shit out of you.
Even if you're a woman, which is hot, but because they can't tell sometimes. Thank you, Cult of Krill. Where do you take someone who was injured in a peekaboo contest accident? The ICU. Thanks, Cult.
Yeah, it's getting crazy out there, and it's only getting crazier by the day.
Yeah, a lot of people have when I worked at the jail, we used to call tombstone courage. You think you're a badass doesn't mean you're a badass. Anyone can lose a fight, no matter how tough you are, how experienced you are, how good you are, because you don't always know the battleground or what the other person knows or is up to, and they may have friends there. And you're in enemy territory if you're even a libertarian, left-leaning person in this crowd. These are hardcore lefties. You do not know who they know in that crowd, and you don't know what they're up to and what their motivation is or what they're armed with. These things are getting more and more violent, and it's very unsafe if they know who you are. So I would be very, very cautious if you're going to one of these events.
Real quick, Cryptic, thank you. Got it. Buy round eye glasses. Indeed. I want to read a tweet to you, Jack. This is from ABC News. This is what I'm talking about. I actually didn't expand on that, so now's a good time. Protesters in California set fire to a courthouse, damaged a police station, and assaulted officers after peaceful demonstrations intensified. Peaceful demonstrations intensified.
Is that what they're calling it now?
That's the fucking. I'm going to read that. I'm going to read the whole headline one more time. Protesters in California set fire to a courthouse, damaged a police station, and assaulted officers after a peaceful demonstration intensified. Oh, God. Wow. Look how intense those peaceful people are. Peaceful demonstration intensifies. If a peaceful demonstration intensified, I would imagine that they start all chanting together, monk style maybe. Not setting fire to a courthouse. At that point, It's not a protest anymore. It's a fucking riot.
Right?
They're not protesters anymore. They're rioters. They're felons.
No. It's okay. They're just trying to overthrow the government and fight racism. If you guys think this is about George Floyd anymore, or ever was for that matter, you're sadly mistaken. This is agenda-driven on every level. The news media is going to lie through their teeth to protect these people as long as they can, and people will capitulate to this. They will accept the media narrative.
I have another one for you. This is from the New York Post. Protesters vandalized police union building in Baltimore. Protesters.
Yeah. They've decided that crimes against buildings and materials does not count as violence anymore. So setting a building on fire is no longer an act of violence. They're redefining it as only against other people. Not the fact that if you burn a building down, you just cost somebody their entire livelihood. That's irrelevant. So this is not violence to the media under their new language.
This is what I was talking about with them winning the propaganda war. And what I meant to say then and got distracted and forgot to is they're only winning the propaganda war because the media and the DNC are helping them.
Yeah, and the tech companies are shutting down people that disagree. I fully expect at some point we'll probably get canceled for something we say on here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to apologize in advance for that one because it'll probably be me. Just on my luck. But yeah, they're doing everything they can to prevent people from seeing what is actually happening. And by the time the average person sees it, it'll be way too late because it'll be at their door and there'll be nobody left to save you. That was loud.
Apparently there's a storm brewing.
I think it's already there, man.
Wow. And it's still rumbling. And I have noise canceling headphones, so wow, shit. Don't worry, guys. It's not a protest outside. That's the sky protesting. Tweak, thank you so much. Words are violence, destruction of property isn't. Right. Welcome to the new normal. Was that real? That was absolutely real. That is fucking. I thought I heard some thunder a little while ago, but nothing followed. So we'll see.
I'm kind of with Jim Healis. That's fucking awesome.
That was amazing.
Oh yeah, Pat's right. Maybe you have Shazam outside.
Could be. I don't know. Maybe they're armed protesters here. Guys, don't forget we're brought to you by you. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and throw shekels at Jack and myself because we like juice.
Yeah, absolutely.
We like everybody. So whatever currency, throw it at us. We like it.
Right? Look, if you guys live in a major city, I would really recommend legally purchasing a firearm if possible. Because this shit's getting worse, and it's getting in more and more places. I mean, we hadn't heard about Austin at all. I mean, they had one protest when this first kicked off, but since then, it's spread to Aurora, Colorado, which is a suburb of Denver. It was in Denver, Austin, Louisville. What were the other ones? There was a couple other weird ones. There was one in Providence, Rhode Island. Like, what? Who does anything in Rhode Island? Don't you guys just fight traffic all day? But yeah, these things are spreading.
Yeah, the thing is they were starting to die out. You still had Louisville was a thing most nights. Detroit still had some, but even those were tending to be just the regular protests, and people would go home. Your only really bad ones were Portland and Seattle. This is Kyle. Thank you. That thunder was to symbolize the cancellation of your channel after what Jack said. Look, we'll be fine. We're not lying. We're not telling any misinformation here. If we do mess up, we correct it as soon as we know. So, Susan, 7 figures. You can see my wiener. DM me, sweetie. The part I open the show with this. It's just so funny to me. so funny to me that all of this is now about Portland. These are protests in support of Portland. Because apparently if you go burn down Austin and shoot a couple of people or destroy what's left of Louisville, any of this shit, that is somehow going to make Donald Trump move federal agents out of a federal building in fucking Portland.
Yeah. Now, I'm amazed these guys have managed to hold off the waves. It's like watching you guys play 7 Days to Die. The horde just keeps coming every day. And it was slowing down for a while, but then it'd pick up on the weekends. Yeah, this has definitely gotten a lot worse in the last 2 weeks, roughly.
It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
Yeah,
because this last week has been unusual, judging by the last couple of weeks. The last couple of weeks, you had bigger crowds on Friday and Saturday, but Sunday through Thursday, I mean, there were some nights it was like, are there even protesters out there?
Right.
And then the news kicked off last weekend with them talking about the feds are being so mean to people in Portland. And suddenly it all kicked off on Monday. Monday's crowd was ridiculously large, and it's just gotten bigger every night.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Sunday again. So it'll be interesting to see if the crowd dies back out.
After the success with the fence and no clear repercussions, I think it's going to be just as bad tonight. But I did see one of the streamers, it was like 5 a.m. his time, so it was way too early here. He was talking about why they're collecting those canisters. And it turns out...
yeah.
Have you heard about this? It's not just for the personal collections. The ACLU is planning a lawsuit against the feds for dispersing too much of this stuff.
Well, that's asinine because they should have been dispersing even more.
Yeah, I agree. They are really holding back. I at this point don't understand why.
Yeah, good luck getting a federal judge to say that the federal police protecting a federal building is a bad thing. Good luck on that one. Did you see the WNBA leaving the court and there were no fans? Good to see COVID left some people unaffected. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw it. Like, that doesn't look any different than their normal home crowd. They're the only ones. I mean,
right.
Wait until Major League Soccer, then you'll be like, oh yeah, nobody's there either. Huh. Yeah, random. A federal courthouse.
Yeah, that's not the locals.
Ninth district. Well, is Portland in the 9th?
I think it is.
I know California is. I'm not sure what else is up that way. So, either way. Even that, you're talking about, okay, what if they turn to go to their courthouse? Do you want to tell the feds, sorry, you can't defend us?
If they get this one, it'll be a propaganda victory, and they'll go after other federal buildings and probably more monuments too, because they've already made plays at some of them. They went after the Jefferson and Lincoln memorials, and that didn't go anywhere. But I think that's why they're focusing so hard on this one victory. It's a propaganda win more than anything else. It's a symbol. And if they can destroy this, they will destroy a lot more federal buildings.
Matt says, wait until feds are fighting local cops in the streets. We are headed there. I haven't seen that at all. The people running the cities and maybe even some of the police chiefs might be like, yeah, we're not going to work with them or anything. The actual people being put on the front lines, both feds and local cops, I haven't seen any animosity between them.
No, it's the people in charge. I think it was the Philly mayor said that if they deploy troops, federal troops in his city, he's going to have the cops arrest them. I don't really see that happening. I think if they tried that,
I said you can't do that.
No, you can't. They have no authority to do that because the federal government supersedes local in most situations. So, especially in stuff like this, domestic security, that sort of thing. But the best thing Trump could probably do would be to label Antifa a terror organization. Then they would have a lot more resources for this sort of shit.
Yeah, that shit they've talked about it a few times. They need to just get it done. Just stop pussyfooting around, Mr. President. Get that shit done.
Quit fucking around and do it. Real fast. Thank you, Atheist Icon. This was supposed to be for the coof test for my daughter, but the wifest and I believe you needed it more. Oh, thank you, Atheist. Just quarantine for a few weeks. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't see. I think it would go very much the same way that the mask orders are going. The police are like, I'm not enforcing that shit.
Well, it's a no-win situation for the cops. If they do that, they're looking at serious trouble for themselves. So yeah, I don't think that would. I don't think most cops are going to go for that because there will be a gun battle at some point doing that shit. And I don't really think you want to arrest some agent and then have a SWAT team break into your local prison to get them out.
Right. I just don't think that you'd actually see that. They might order them, go arrest them. They'll be like, you go arrest them. Fuck you. So we'll see what happens with it. I can't believe that this is where we're at, man.
I can't either. This is getting ridiculous. It doesn't help the big tech and mainstream media are supporting this nonsense. This is unprecedented as far as the amount of bullshit they're slinging to cover for these people. We have seen them throwing fires or starting fires, throwing Molotovs, throwing fireworks, injuring cops with laser pointers, blinding people. We saw a cop get hit in the head with a hammer. We've seen him get hit in the head with other objects that were thrown. It's getting out of hand, and more people now are going to get killed. And if these people get ballsy, they're going to do this to average citizens, and that's when it's going to get really ugly.
Let me tell you guys, even with the weapons that they have on these officers down there in Portland, those crowds could have overrun them quickly and easily. It's a good thing they're a bunch of giant pussies.
Yeah.
They could have overrun them very quickly and easily. Crappy Fisherman, thank you. There's a GoFundMe for Garrett Foster's Memorial Fund at $105K right now. Tim Pool may be right about the incentivization of these shootings. I don't know what Tim Pool said. I don't watch or really pay attention to him, but yeah, I guess. When I saw it, God, this was only like an hour, maybe two ago. It was only at 90,000, so that's 15K in like an hour, maybe two.
Yeah. Portal said in chat, well, maybe the rioters will get shot. The rest of them will decide this isn't LARPing anymore. My fear is that it will entrench them further, and they will start arming up. And these are not smart people that will be heavily armed. And they will kill not only each other, but a bunch of innocent people.
Yep.
And by that point, if that does happen, my concern is you will see a resurgence of like secret movements like the Klan and things like that, forming militias whose job is specifically hunting these people down. And it will be a fucking bloodbath.
Here's the thing. If the police are refusing to do their job, or in this case, it's not the police refusing to do their job, it's the city's, handcuffing them. Ordinary people are going to start doing it for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're getting to that point.
Yeah, you are.
People are getting frustrated. We've already seen several shootings over this. That guy at the statue that shot the guy that hit him with the skateboard. This new shooting in Austin and the one in Aurora. They're springing up over and over again. And now we've got a stabbing. People are starting to get fed up and scared. And rightfully so on the scared part, for sure. I got fed up weeks ago with this shit. But thankfully, I don't live in a major city anymore. This stuff is getting worse. It's very obviously getting worse if you're watching it. If you're watching mainstream media, these are poor innocent good boys didn't do nothing wrong.
Yep.
So I think you're going to start seeing a lot of pushback against BLM and Antifa for this. And they're going to blame a lot of this on BLM because that's who's being portrayed in the media as being these good protesters. And Antifa is being, they don't exist. They're not real. And they're getting kind of swept under the rug. So, yeah, I have some serious concerns here.
Do you remember the first night I watched and saw TK? You and I were watching together, and it's the first night I saw TK. TK comes out and he's talking about, or he, she, whatever TK is, I'm not sure. They come out and are talking about how there's different groups, and you guys are doing your thing, but y'all need to knock the shit off because we're going to get the blame for that.
Yeah.
TK is very much into Black Lives Matter. And yes, Pat, exactly. He said that. Yeah. BLM is going to get black people are going to get the blame for this, and it's not them. This is Antifa. This is a little commie fucking cell. Like we're commies and we believe in anarchy. Yeah, that goes hand in hand, you stupid shits.
Right? And Black Lives Matter is not doing themselves any favors because they are spewing a lot of violent sounding rhetoric. They want to defund the cops. They want to overthrow the government. All this other shit. You have lots of video every night of some black guy going up to a cop screaming at him about how his life matters and you're murdering all these black people and all this. And then the next thing you know, there's a fire next to the building that this cop came out of.
Yep.
You see it every time. It almost looks orchestrated, like they're just waiting for someone to go up and talk to a cop and start yelling at them. And then as soon as they walk away, fire starts. And it's getting to the point where I almost think that they're trying to start a race war because it fits into their class narrative.
Matt says BLM is communist as well. Yes, I'm well aware. I've talked about it many times.
Yeah.
But there is a difference between BLM and Antifa. Antifa absolutely hates America and what they are, what we are.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're a lot worse in Europe than they are here. Thankfully, we have pussies here, but they are a very violent movement. And if they start picking up the tactics from the European branch, we are in serious shit because those guys are psychotic.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who support BLM who may not believe in any of the communistic bullshit. They may just simply believe in the equality part of this. And there's nobody in Antifa that doesn't know what the objective is. They're soldiers. Pathetic as that may be. It is sad when their best soldiers are fat chicks.
Right? But the worst part is that this isn't just going to blow back on BLM and Antifa. It's going to blow back on all the black people.
Yep.
Because you're going to breed a lot of racism with this shit. And I think that the Antifa knows that. And that's what they're trying to do is create the enemy they want to fight against. Because they're so scared of Proud Boys. They may not even be consciously doing this, but that's what they're going to end up doing. They're creating enemies because there are normal people that are getting affected by this. And if enough normal people get scared, there will be people that do something about it because there's a lot of crazies out there and a lot of people that are desperate. You take away everything somebody has, the cancel culture, people get doxxed and they get attacked, that sort of thing. These people will start to come together and they will fight back. And it's going to be messy. And that's what worries me out of this is that not only are they getting more aggressive and more violent and they're targeting seemingly random people, but you're going to see a counterattack to that. And that's going to be just a mess.
I just saw something that I'm pretty sure is a joke, but I have to show it anyway because it made me laugh. This is a tweet apparently went around about 10 hours ago is when it came out. Says, my girlfriend went to the protest today. Let me just say, if I find the feds that hit my girlfriend with pepper balls, it won't be pretty. I'm so angry. Be glad I wasn't there.
Yeah, sweet hickey.
Yeah. I've seen the bruise of pepper ball leaves. It ain't that. But he is on his timeline defending it, so I don't know if he's just a hardcore troll having fun or if he actually believes that his girlfriend got hit by a pepper ball. Because we've seen those, man. Some of those bruises are fucking outrageous.
Well, yeah, but you play that game, that's the prize you're going to win.
That's some funny. I laugh every time. Like when Arix got hit, and she showed her legs and she whined that she had just shaved them that day. Like, well, bitch, that's what you get.
Yeah, how hairy are your legs that would have made a difference?
Right. That's what you get for wearing shorts to a protest, you idiot.
Right?
I'm sorry, to a riot, because she goes to the riots, not the protest.
Oh, yeah, she's a mouthy one, too. Thinks she's pressed, but starts screaming that the cops are all fascists.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, so it is also important to remember that by the time the police usually respond at all, these things have been declared unlawful.
Yeah.
That doesn't get talked about at all.
Oh, of course not. It doesn't fit the narrative.
The sheer amount of lies coming from our press about this is disturbing.
Absolutely. And our politicians. I just dropped a link to what Nadler had to say about Antifa.
Oh, I can't wait to see what that fat little piece of shit said.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Philip McGroin. Was offered $5 to take an 8-week-old kitten. Here's the $5. The kitten is in a bag at the bottom of the river if you want that too. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Thank you, Jason.
That was dark.
That was very dark. I got a funny story about that in a second. Thank you, Jason. I was saving this money to take a sick kitten to the vet tomorrow, but it died this morning. Here's what's left after buying liquor to drown my sorrow. Jesus Christ, you guys. Thank you for the donations, but I'm going to have nightmares.
Why are they picking on kittens tonight?
I don't know.
All right. The Post said, I gave Jerry Nadler the opportunity to disavow Antifa. This is what he said. Make sure volume is up.
It's true. There's violence across the whole country. Do you disavow the violence from Antifa? That's happening in Portland right now? There's riots.
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
Sir, there's videos everywhere online. There's fires and riots. They're throwing fireworks at federal officers. DHS is there. Look online. It gets crazy, Mr. Nadler.
I want to see how far that car goes. Oh, damn it. I wanted to see how far the car went down when he sat in it. Well, there you go. Jerry Nadler just told you guys there's no such thing as Antifa in Portland.
That's a myth in D.C. No, it's not. We've seen them. There's people that have said they're part of Antifa.
For the record, Mr. Nadler, that is fake news. I am not in Washington, D.C., and I've claimed it. Jack isn't in Washington, D.C. He's claimed it, so you got to pick a new lie, you fat fuck.
They're going to perpetuate this as long as possible because they think Antifa works for them. They don't. Antifa's its own movement.
Yep.
They're a bunch of commies. They don't give a fuck about these politicians. They're part of the old system that they're trying to destroy. And they're using each other right now. Eventually, that will end.
Matt says, and what is Nadler? I'm convinced he's the shit monster from Weird Science.
Oh, that's possible.
He looks like it. He looks like, what was his name? Chet was his name. He looks he's shaped exactly the same. He just doesn't have that brown skin. Just saying. It is funny to me what you just said there, Jack, because they don't seem to get that. Antifa's not on their side. We see this with Ted Wheeler. We see it with Mayor Jenny.
Yeah.
They're like, it's the summer of love. And then they show up at her house and she's like, oh, fuck, where are the police?
Right? It took 6 shootings and 2 deaths, or 3, depending if that other kid died.
Yeah, they never told us if the 14-year-old died.
Oh, they're not going to either. It'll be years before we find out about that, I bet. Unless an independent person finds that out. But yeah, it's amazing how much they're willing to cover for this crap until it comes to their door.
And yes, Robert Downey Jr. was the bully he was one of the bullies in Weird Science.
Yep.
Wearing a shit ton of eye makeup.
Yeah, that was a very 80s thing to do.
Man, that was a lot of eye makeup.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and yes, Nadler does look like a chud.
Wheeler's probably the worst, though, because he just does. As bad as Seattle is, guys, Portland's Antifa shit has never really stopped. it gets quiet for a little bit, and then it blows up again, and they get quiet and blows up. They've just been the hotbed of where this shit is growing in our country for at least half a decade. At least. And this fucking moron, when they're chanting to get rid of his ass, how much they fucking hate him. He's out there. These are my people. He came out and said, I feel like I understand them a lot better, and they understand me a lot better now. Like, if you understood them, you'd fucking put the police out there even more because they hate you. And one day your head's going to end up in a box. Have you not read your history and what commies do when they take over? You're part of the bourgeoisie, motherfucker. You're part of the elites, you dumbass.
Yeah, they'll kill me last is not exactly a great way to do policy.
And it's also not true usually. You guys go first. They round everybody else up later. You're the example. Dumb motherfuckers. But communism just hasn't been tried right, Jack. It just hasn't been done right. Uh-huh. Saw somebody today, can't remember which. The only reason Venezuela has problems is because of the corrupt politicians, Jack.
Oh my God, in a communist system? What?
Yeah. And it's not the system that allowed that or no. It's just those corrupt people. Like, I'm sorry, what? And she actually, it's because of corrupt politicians. You people need to learn your history. Like, cunt, we know. We've tried warning you. Once again, guys, there is no such thing as anarcho-communism.
There's no such thing as anarcho plus anything else.
No, there's not.
It doesn't work that way.
Communism. Listen to me. Communism demands totalitarian regimes. Fascist totalitarian regimes. Ones who will not let you speak against what they do and say. Because that makes you the bad guy, and you have to go out behind a building and get suicided. They give you the Clinton treatment. Double tap.
I'm not sad, for the record.
I'm not sad either, but Hillary's a murderer.
I have no evidence of this. That is pure speculation on Monkey's part. I'm just a hitchhiker he picked up on the way.
I wasn't talking about Hillary Clinton.
Oh.
It was this chick in a book I read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying. It's I love watching our leaders cheer for communism. Like, they're going to kill you. If communists take over, they're going to kill you. You know that, right? Can you name me the communist revolution that any of the leaders were still left? Any of the people who had been there, even if they were on the side of the communists, got to stay there.
That's a pretty small list.
Yeah, very small list. Very, very small list. Most of them go away. For one reason or another, they get shooted. Power blinked and I missed the last 10 minutes. What'd I miss? Everything, man. We gave the winning Powerball numbers early this week. You could have got them. Everybody else has them now except you.
Right?
Was the book by Jeffrey? I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Did you know Chinese body dealers can't tell the difference between some baby rhino organs and human ones? Much cheaper and easier than going to Africa or than the local school. So here's your cut.
Wow.
That's dark. Thanks, Evolved.
Communism isn't even possible. Using an overpowered state to get rid of state is doomed before it begins. It's such an asinine notion. It is such an asinine notion. It betrays human instinct.
Yeah, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of human nature.
Yep.
It's a very idealized one, and it's not a realistic one. It's not playing into humans' natural desires and greed. And
it's why capitalism works.
Yeah, because we're all greedy and a little selfish at heart. We want to take care of ourselves and our families and the people we care about. We don't give a fuck about some nameless dude out in the Ukraine that's starving.
We help when we can if it makes us feel better, Toss a couple of pennies into that Salvation Army tin at Christmas time. But yeah, by and large, we take care of ourselves because, well, who else is going to? It's not just selfishness, Jack. It's self-preservation. That's a natural human instinct. If you don't have it, there's something wrong with you. We always save ourselves first. Now, there are instances where, you put yourself in front of your family, but that's still putting yourself first. That's helping your line carry on or taking care of, I love this woman enough that I would die for her kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is still your self-interest. Good monkey. I fucking hate commies, man.
I know. Well, it's the idealism that creates it, and it's the greed that destroys it.
Well, here's the thing. I don't understand how you can be over the age of 20 and believe Marxism is a good idea in any fucking way.
Brainwashing, because they don't know any different. Look at the people that are doing this. They're coddled children. They're emotionally toddlers, and they've been spoiled their whole lives with no consequence. These are the bourgeoisie pretending to be the proletariat. Remember, communism is the perfect system for ants. That's why we have anteaters.
Exactly. I have a few jokes about unemployed people, but none of them work. Go sit in the corner. How dare you? Crazed Mortal, go sit in the corner. No, that was a good one, actually. I like
classic.
I'd never heard that one before.
Oh, yeah, it was going around. That's been around for a while, but yeah, that's a classic nonetheless. Good job.
What is this? A political system for ants? Yeah, well, it's as close as we have. That was weird. The ghost is here. Damn it. I'm streaming. Wait.
The ghost hates commies too.
Look. This is a benevolent ghost. She's a sweetheart most of the time. She just wants attention once in a while. I recognize you. You're fine. Oh, you know what? I think somebody was in her room.
Oh.
Yeah. She might be mad because the baby was in there earlier, and she's always had children in that room, and she hasn't for a while, so she might be upset that we don't have them in there more. Look, if they came over more, I'd play with them in there more. There's a trampoline in there, Jack.
Oh,
and it's one of the little ones. Pumpkin and Little Butt love jumping on that thing. They will sit there and just wear themselves out. I'm like, go ahead, jump. Jump until you're tired, and then we'll go take a nap. But yeah, that was always my daughter's room. And then it was Little Butt's room, and it's just been empty really since. So yes, there's a ghost in my house. It's all right. Is the ghost thing serious? Yes. My daughter told us probably her whole childhood that she was convinced there was a ghost in there. And we always just kind of, yeah, okay. And then when I used to watch, when Little Butt stayed with me for a while, me and her slept in there. And I'm convinced there's a ghost in that room. I absolutely am. And she comes out once in a while, but mostly she stays in that room. So, like, is there a history to it? I have no idea. I've never looked into it, and I probably should one day. But Satsu 2 cents, thank you so much. Who says, what time we streaming? Is that actually you, Satsu? What are you doing? You didn't have to do that. Tweet me, man.
Give me a second. I gotta get rid of the phone call.
It was funny. We started talking about a ghost, and I start hearing this weird little music playing.
I know it took me a minute, but my phone's out of reach, so I can't get rid of it.
Satsu, I don't know what time. I'm only an hour and a half in here, so we could go right about. If you were ready at 9:30, we could go. Oh, look, I gotta. Why did you text me, man? You know better than that. 9:30 would be good for me. I'll just have to make sure I'm wrapped up by then. So yeah, 9:30 works. I have a ghost that fucks with me. Ranting Monkey, they hide my shit and then put it in weird ass places. She just. It's hard to describe how you know she's in there. You just know. And occasionally the children will start talking to somebody if they're in that room and nobody's there. And it's not like, because children, they gibberish and that kind of stuff, but like they see something and like they're actually talking to a person, and it will creep you the fuck out when it happens. And that is the only room it happens in. I'm telling you, there's a ghost in there. So I'm okay with it. I'm not afraid of it. She's, like I said, she's a sweetheart. She doesn't do anything. She just wants us to know she's there. For all I know, this house was built on Indian land.
No, that never goes well. It's never a friendly ghost when that happens.
Well, she probably died by other Indians when a white man was trying to save her. So she has a sweet place in her heart for white people.
Ah.
See, it could happen. Everybody imagines, they would hate the whiteys. There's ways they'd like white people.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
Setsu's in chat.
Pocahontas liked white people. She used to hump one.
And then she died.
And Satsu, did you hear me? 9:30ish would be good for me. I'll have to make sure I'm wrapping up right before then. So, and that'll be right after the 2-hour mark. So I can do 9:30 if you want. Just saw a racist LA Times article that says Black and Latinos are stupid. Can send if you want. No, I mean, you can send it. I probably can't read it because the Los Angeles Times has a number of stories you can read each month, and it's like 1.5.
Right.
It's because you're white, monkey. That's why the engine doesn't love you. Look, she doesn't hate it. She's, like I said, she's always been nice. She's a good ghost. Not all ghosts are bad, man. Y'all, look, go talk to Ghastly. Y'all need some Ghastly in your life to learn that not all ghosts are bad. Anyway, I'm talking about ghosts now, Jack.
But you want to hear a disturbing story about cats and rivers?
Probably not, but go ahead.
All right, so my uncle likes to tell me this story. His dad was a preacher, but he didn't like cats. So they found this stray cat on their property. They used to come up to the door and beg. Uh-huh. And he's like, I don't like this thing. I hate cats. I'm getting rid of it. So he put it in a burlap sack with a rock, took it to a bridge, dropped it off the bridge into the river. And he gets home, and the cat's standing there soaking wet looking at him. The cat was allowed to stay.
Yeah, at that point, you just keep him, and you feed him well.
Yeah. They said, you never tried anything like that again? And he just left that cat alone. Like, okay, you can stay on the property now because I'm scared of you. That cat, that cat was like soaking wet going, that's one. I got 8 more. You only get one.
Try it again, motherfucker. Jordan 250, thank you so much. Is the ghost named Guntherette? I don't know her name. I don't. Don't fuck with cats. Yeah, you don't fuck with a cat, man. Cats are good people, and they're mean as shit when they want to be.
Yeah, they can be very vindictive, and they're like little assassins.
Pocahontas' grave is in the town I was born in. Wow. Nothing exciting happened where I was born. I was born in San Diego. That's just some land we took from Mexico. There's a special place in hell reserved for him. Yeah, I remember in Sunday school, Jack. In Sunday school, I was maybe 5 at the time. The Sunday school teacher's boyfriend came in and told us the most horrific story that I'm not going to tell here. I will just tell you it involved kittens and a lawnmower.
Jesus.
Yeah. I hope he was there to pray for forgiveness. But I always think back to that. I'm like, I was 5. You horrible person. Why would you tell a 5-year-old that?
These people are monsters.
A tall person. Thank you so much. Just got done catching up with the stream. Something that enrages me about the protests are a lot of commenters screaming secret police and how attempts to stop the rioters are authoritarian. I've been called a fascist repeatedly. I've been called a fascist supporter repeatedly. Here's the thing. And I've seen a lot of libertarians. How come you libertarians are for this? I believe in private property. I believe in the rule of law. I believe that sometimes the police are necessary. Sometimes laws are necessary. Are there bad ones? Sure. And we work to erase those. We don't go burning shit down.
Yeah, you don't destroy a bunch of stuff that doesn't belong or involve the people you're talking about. There's a system in place for a reason. It maintains civilization. You don't have to like it, but you can change it then. You don't go around causing panic and destroying stuff. Mob justice isn't real justice. You can't let the whims of the mob dictate who's right and who's wrong because they don't have all the facts and the passions take over, and then you have innocent dead people. That's why we outlawed posses. Look, there's so many problems here. It's unbelievable. The cops are not acting like secret police, even the federal ones. Most police departments have undercover vehicles.
Sure.
And that's kind of what they're doing here.
Real quick, I have a Streamlabs, and then remind me what we were just talking about there in a second.
Okay.
Secret police. Okay. Evolved Potato, thank you. So does the ghost have a rocket ship made of candy, or does it drive around in a Batmobile? I don't get either reference.
I get the bat one.
The bat didn't die.
You have no evidence of that. That's not
okay.
That's not what his family says.
Let me say that it was alive when it left my house.
He was simply protesting, and you slaughtered him.
No, I was protesting.
No, he was protesting. He was like, I didn't do nothing. Bat lives matter. We belong in this house too.
That room that I was, because I was in the living room at the time. I used to stream from out there. And that motherfucker, that is a big room. And he kept dive bombing me specifically. I was the only one up. He kept taunting me. It was his fault.
No, he was trying to respect my authority. I have a right to life. And you're like, no, you don't. And then you smacked him down like he was a protester in Portland.
Look, that bat was alive when he left my house. That is fact.
The other protesters had to come and save him. And they're like, no. His name was George Floyd.
I don't know what happened to him after I flung him out of the house, but he was alive when I left, or when he left. Jack says, I think he's mocking you because ghosts aren't real. You can't prove that. Anyhow, we're talking. Secret police. You remember the chick who got picked up on the street? The one that I think you agree with me that
looked fake as fuck.
Yeah, that looked like a CI pickup.
Yep.
Balzac, thank you. Is the ghost call center Indian or
call center Indian or casino Indian?
Thank you for that.
Real quick, thank you, tall person. Happy National Bagel Fest Day, and thank you, Jordan 250. Since I don't have these winning Powerball numbers, I had to give up shaving cream to keep paying you. Shaving sucks now. That does suck. Thanks, Jordan.
And Evolved Potato, thank you. Because it's imaginary, ghosts aren't real. You cannot prove that. Prove they're not real. Good luck. There's a picture, and I forget who it is or who did it, and I wish I could pull it up on the screen. But they take a shot from that video. You know, these police, there's no way of identifying who they are. And they circle 9 different spaces on that uniform that identifies them, including the one that would identify them if you were looking for it's basically their badge number.
Yeah.
All on that uniform. They were unidentified. Really? It's just because you don't know how to tell the identification doesn't mean they're unidentified.
Yeah, the problem is the average person doesn't know to look for that stuff, and it's not clear in that video.
Well, they also think that you have to look for a silver badge on there with their badge number. That's not how it all works.
No, that's not how the feds operate. So, yeah, I mean, look, there's only been 2 of these pickups that they've admitted to, and they are identified as police. Yeah, I find it suspicious as fuck, and I'd be really nervous getting in one of those vehicles with these guys, but I'm also not out there causing problems.
Look, the 2 that we've seen is you got the one where they leave the fat bitch on the ground and they take her friend.
Yeah, that was funny.
That one might be a real pickup, but the other one, no fucking way that was real. That was not a real arrest. Don't believe it. We'll never believe it.
The one with the fat chick I would totally buy. That looked like an arrest. The second one, no, that looked like propaganda of some kind.
I'm telling you, that was a CI pickup. And let me ask you this. If that was real, why have we not heard from that chick? Anyone?
Because she's CI.
Yeah, exactly. Ding, 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 ding.
Or she was undercover. One of the two.
This was, it could have been, extracting and undercover. Somebody sent me, who was it? When I first started talking about this, several people told me, all kinds of different folks online who, no, they said this was a real pickup. I'm like, I'm not saying the police aren't real. I'm not saying that person isn't real. I'm not saying they didn't really pick her up. I'm saying it's not a real arrest. And apparently they took some of my questions and stuff to one of the people who disagreed with me, and they said, you know what, that absolutely could be a CI pickup. Like, yeah, because that's what it looks like. They don't bind her in any way, and they put her in a vehicle right behind the driver with no restraints. Are you kidding me?
No restraints, no pat down. It was suspicious in every possible way. So, and I've heard people say that was a dude. I'm like, okay, maybe, but
that's a chick,
girly dude. But yeah, everything about that was wrong to me. It didn't look right, and it looked fake as fuck. So I have a lot of questions about that, and the fact that we haven't heard from this person, and they're not, nobody seems to know who it is. Except the people that picked her up. They say they know who it is, and yeah, they picked her up. Whatever. I haven't heard anybody say her name, and that's not how these Antifa types operate. If they knew who that was, they would have said it. Plus, did you see anybody that was with her on camera long enough to get a good look at their face?
Nope.
So that's kind of suspicious too.
DHS, what sold me on it, that it's not just a propaganda video from like Antifa themselves, was DHS coming out saying, yeah, we arrested her. And that's when I'm like, this is a CI. Gotta be. If they're saying they really did pick her up like that, no names given. She has never come forward. From what we've been told on all of this, they've been just releasing these people. Like the one that they said they picked up some guy, and it might be the same story, but they released him down the block a little bit. They just moved him so they could question him. We haven't heard any of these people. None of them have come forward with their story about being picked up in these unmarked vehicles. Bullshit. These people would be screaming from the rafters these stories. But why are they so bad at fake pickups? Well, most people didn't question it.
Yeah, most people just glanced at it and like, oh, it's totally real, man. That's why I think that this might have been a propaganda win, because they were trying to instill some fear into these clowns.
Even law enforcement people looked at this. They were like, yeah, that's a pickup. Like, no, it's not. That is not a real arrest in any possible way.
No way. Not by
made a big deal about how scared he was. Somebody said somebody came out. Yeah, I'd have to see that. I haven't heard it. This chick I haven't heard from. And again, that huge identifying insignia on her shirt. The only time you see something like that, you have it with Concrete Reporting. He always wears his.
Yeah.
You'll see it with the press people, but the vast majority of the Antifa, especially the ones who are going to go breaking and burning shit, there is nothing identifying on them. It is a black uniform. They just wear straight black, so they can't be identified.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
And watch it. They stop at an intersection where there are three girls, and one of them is covered head to toe in black, except for this big insignia. The only thing you can see about her is what's through the goggles. And they know that's the one that they need to pick up. Come on. Come on.
Seems really suspicious to me.
Come on. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. Anyway,
Morning.
it's so great because I was born at night. I can use that, and I'm not lying. I was born at 12:37.
Nice.
Yeah. Sometimes things work out in your favor that you have no control over.
Right?
I want to talk about this thing. Conservatives, I'm using air quotes here. People like George Will. George Will has come out to support Joe Biden.
There's a shocker.
To support Joe Biden because Trump and the Republicans have betrayed conservative ideals.
Whatever. George Will always was a neocon.
Look, let's say you believe that. Let's say you believe Trump and the Republicans at large have betrayed Republican ideas. I would agree with you in Congress. They talk a good talk until they get elected, and then they absolutely do. But George Will hasn't left the Republican Party. He left apparently in 2016 when Trump became the nominee, and now he's a Biden supporter. So he's betrayed the conservative ideals. So instead of going, okay, I'm going to go libertarian, or I'm not going to vote at all, or I'll just write somebody's name in, you go for Joe Biden for your conservative principles? What? How does that make any goddamn sense at all? Now, I don't care if he votes for Joe Biden. I don't care if he votes for Trump. I don't give a fuck. I'm just looking at this strictly from the fuck are you talking about kind of sense. Because we've seen this with people like Bill Kristol, not Billy Crystal, Bill Kristol, the commentator. And there's a whole magazine called The Bulwark that are these people. They're Republicans who are against Donald Trump, which is fine, do your thing. But they're conservatives who are going to vote for Biden. Obama's vice president, Biden. Bernie's new pen pal, Biden. And the only thing that makes sense with like George Will loves to talk about how much he was part of the Reagan administration because he had some small job in there. And the only thing I can think of that makes sense, Jack, and hear me out. Tell me if I'm wrong on this. That instead of actually supporting Biden, what they're supporting is Alzheimer's. Oh. Because by the end, Reagan had it,
Yeah.
And Biden has it going in. So maybe that's what they're supporting rather than any political ideology.
It's possible. I think it's more likely they're just shitty people with no real principles.
That could be it too. Mr. Jones says most Republicans are moderate at best. I think most Republicans just want to get reelected, same as most Democrats. They will do or say whatever they need to get elected, and then once they're in office, they do whatever the fuck they want. And they'll be like, we had to make a compromise. Oh, in my world, compromise doesn't mean bending over, spreading your cheeks, and letting them go in dry.
Oh, that's because you have a colonialized version of the word.
Right? I saw that, the whole thing from George Will. Republicans have betrayed their principles, so I'm going to vote for Biden. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Biden is.
How do you say that and in any way hold credibility? I don't get it. That would be like saying Biden has betrayed his liberal principles, so I'm going to vote for Trump. Be like, what? Look, say I don't like what he says. I believe that Biden is a better candidate. Fine. I think Biden is more in line with how I believe on this, and this is where I disagree with Trump. Fine. But vague, they've abandoned the principles, and it mostly seems to be about Donald Trump swearing too much and not being presidential enough.
Oh.
Jedi Ghost Bear, thank you. George and Cenk agree on Biden being conservative. I said early on that before we knew about him being,
Crazy.
addled, that if I had to have one of the Democratic candidates as a presidential nominee, I would prefer Biden because he's an old school Democrat. And by that, I meant that he would change the least of any of them because all the other ones were so happy to be as socialist as possible. So in that sense, I would get it, but not versus your own party.
Yeah. And Biden's marbles are falling out left, right, and center. So.
And I'm pretty sure Cenk would consider Stalin a Republican.
Right.
Because, well, that's who Cenk is. Hillary lost, so I'm going to start the new Communist Party in America by siphoning off Democrats, the Justice Democrats, the AOCs. I feel like that's what they should just call them, the AOCs, instead of Justice Democrats. They should just be called the AOCs. She's the only reason anybody gives a shit about him and why people give him money. Trump used to be a Democrat. Yes, he did. But he has done a better job at holding up conservative principles than probably the last two Republican presidents.
Yeah, and Trump used to be a Democrat back in like the 80s.
Yeah. Look, even if Trump was a Democrat, let's say he was, he told you what he was going to run or what he was running on, and he's done or tried to do all of it.
Yeah, he's been very upfront about his plans.
Yep.
And I think that's what shocked them is that he actually tried to implement stuff.
I saw a great meme today. It had a whole bunch of Democratic leaders, including Schumer and Pelosi and Maxine Waters. There were 6 of them that they had, and I forget who all they were. But next to each of them, it had how many years they've been in government. And it ranged anywhere from 33 to like almost 50.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just over 50. And then it showed Donald Trump, and it says years in government 3. And it says, and they say he's the problem.
Right.
Trump wants to be liked. He does want to be liked, but and he's had his mind changed on some things. But when it comes to his actual policies that he said he was going to do, he's done them. Pulled us out of the climate accord, kept us out of PPT, whatever it was, the trade thing over there with the Asian countries.
Yeah. The Pacific Trade Partnership or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, he redid NAFTA.
Yep. He's tried to build the wall. And again, I blame him for not pushing that through when the Republicans had the House and Senate. But I mean, nobody can say he hasn't tried. Tried to take down NAFTA. He's DACA. Tried to. Oh shit! What was it? I just fucked myself up with DACA. Obamacare. All of this shit that he said he was going to do, he's tried to do. And let me point this out with the Obamacare thing. Trump said, get rid of it. And the Republicans for 6 fucking years said that they had a plan to replace it. And so Trump goes, send me the plan. And they went, what? They completely balked. They completely fucked it up. And meanwhile, Trump still went ahead with a suit to get rid of at least the individual mandate so that you don't have to have insurance anymore. It's not illegal to be an American without insurance anymore. You can make that decision yourself. By the way, you should probably have insurance. Republicans never had a plan. Yeah, kind of looks that way, doesn't it? We have a plan to replace it. This is what I talk about with these shitbags when they say the right things to get elected. We have a plan. They deserved to lose the House. We have a plan to replace this. Obamacare, it sucks. And most people agreed Obamacare sucked. It took Obamacare like 5 years before anybody was like, okay, yeah, we're all right with it. Until then, it had a negative rating. And the Republicans, we can replace it. We have a plan. And like, okay, give us the plan. And they're like, we don't have a fucking plan. They argued about it for a couple of months, and they're just like, yeah, we don't have a fucking plan. So Trump went ahead with, doing what he could. You can't blame Trump for not doing things. He's tried. So whether or not you agree with him, that is different. But Mr. Will, he's done more. And like you said, Jack, I think a lot of people are just, especially in Washington, like, what the fuck is this crazy bastard doing keeping his campaign promises? The fuck is he doing? He told you guys, hire him, the stock market will fucking explode on you in a good way. The economy will boom. And it all happened until Corona, of course. But it was all going well. He did everything he said he would do. So whether you like that or not is the only question, not whether or not he did or tried it. They had a plan to make a plan, right? Fucking assholes. But Trump didn't pay my taxes. He ain't even trying. He got a tax cut through as well. Now, I have problems with the fact that we have a tax cut and we just keep adding to our fucking debt, man. Even before Corona, we were going to be $1 trillion in deficit this year.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot worse. They're talking about another payout.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we had that $2 trillion on top of our already $1 trillion deficit. And the one that's coming up sounds like, I believe I heard a price tag of 3. Man.
Because if they extend the unemployment benefits, it's going to be unstoppable on debt because that's going to be another $2 trillion.
Yep. We are just massively fucking ourselves here.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jack, we are at 2 hours. I got a game stream I got to go jump onto. And I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. I always have fun talking to you, but it's always in the middle of the night. It's almost kind of dirty sometimes.
It's illicit.
It's illicit. Yeah, me and Jack only hang out after hours.
Oh, wait.
After hours with Monkey and Jack.
That sounds like a dirty, like Red Shoe Diaries where we just tell stories.
We should do that sometime. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are amazing, and I do love you. Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I'll throw a link to my latest videos in the chat. Thank you so much for the donations, you guys. It really, really helps. It's greatly appreciated.
Jedi Ghost Bear, thank you. Money Printer Go Brr. In just a couple of minutes, I'll be over on 2 Cents Plus. That is the number 2, CENTSPLUS. 2 Cents Plus, hanging out with Satsu. We're going to be playing some 7 Days to Die. I will probably take the rest of the night off, just because I have a normal sleep pattern for a day or so, and it'll be weird to get back to my night one. Don't quote me on that. If you want to know where I am, watch Twitter, guys. I'll let you know on there. Thanks for joining me, guys. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always a good time.
Everybody, have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Susan, you can